Testing, testing. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 96th episode of the Koi Market Koi Marketplace. I hope you guys all had a great week. It was an interesting week for us. Well, for me, I mean, the guys have been doing their winterizations, and I think they're about halfway done. We have about 250 winterizations to do. I believe they're about halfway done. We're going up until I think the second week of December. So that's all going good. Lots of things going on. Not all the things that I'd like to be going on are going on. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has been done with the front of the property yet. So I'm a little bit, I'm not so happy about that right now. All the companies that we have working in this area all have projects going on, so I have to wait for them to finish what they're doing. I understand, I get it. I am a little bit impatient, but I have to wait. So we need the mason to come in here first, because the mason is doing the 20 by 20 platform for the outdoor living room space. And then the guys are going, and we also have to, we have to ball up all of these trees that are on the front lawn area. So we have to, and I'll just point this way. So we're going to save all these trees here. Here, come on up this way. So all these trees we want to reuse. Well, I don't want to kill these trees. I mean, these are all nice trees. This tree right here, I believe it's a Scots pine. I could be wrong, but this was actually a bonsai. So what, if you guys didn't know, before we bought the property, this was actually a bonsai nursery. What were the chances that we were going to end up buying a bonsai nursery? And we also did bonsai. It was just, and we had no idea that this was even here. We didn't know. I mean, he was, he just sold commercial tropical plants, bonsai, orchids, but I had no idea that he was here. But this was a bonsai, and Chris Hayes, who runs the bonsai part of our business, he wants to put this back into a pot and make this into a bonsai. So that's going to be a really cool thing to see for us, to pull this tree out and to see what he does with this over the next, I mean, it takes years to do this. It's not something that happens overnight. You have to watch where you're walking when you're walking on here, because sometimes we get a couple of bombs from the dogs walking on the grass. But we are going to try and save all these trees. This whole area is going to get removed here. So this whole area here is going to be the backdrop for the space here, which will be the outdoor living room. I know we've talked about this before. How many people are on? 15. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. How's everything? So we were just talking about balling up these trees. So all this stuff is going to get all wrapped up hopefully soon. The mason said that he needed 2.5 weeks, and I'm hoping that the week that just passed was one of those 2.5 weeks, which means we have a week and a half left, which would probably put us into the beginning of December when we finally get all this going. But lots of stuff has been going on. My week has been actually selling a lot of the things that my father had left behind. My dad had, they lived in a very big house in Coral Springs, and then they downsized to this tiny little house, and all the things my dad collected, and he collected a lot of things. A lot of Japanese art, I think I've told you about this, he had the largest Japanese Ningyo doll collection in the world. And just look up Ningyo dolls and you can see what they look like. He also had a lot of Japanese art. He also had a lot of I don't know why she's dialing me right now. But hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Maybe she's trying to tell me that I can't hear you. But nobody said anything. So one of the things I'm actually selling is my mother decided she wanted to get a new car, so she gave her car to Travis. And it's this car right here. It's a pretty cool car. It's a 2008 Saturn Sky Redline Turbo. It only has like 47,000 miles on it. And it's for sale. If anyone's interested, let us know. So she gave it to my son Travis. And this was going to be Travis's new car. But as soon as it got into the lot, he got in it and he didn't fit. When I say he didn't fit, like he really didn't fit. So if you're a really big person, it's not the car for you, just being honest. If I manage to get in this car, I have to take the top down, and then my head is actually over the windshield. So it's very Flintstones-like to see. But it is a really cool car. It is rarer for a couple of reasons. It's rare, number one, because they don't make Saturns anymore. And two, it's rare because it's a turbo. And it also has very low miles on it. My mother took very good care of it. So if you are interested in this car, let me know. You can just send me a text, 516-547-0164. So how is your weeks? How is your week, guys? Let me hear from you. What's going on with your ponds? Have you closed your ponds yet for the season? I want to know what's going on with you guys. Everyone's getting prepared for Thanksgiving. Yes. Yes. This was my mom's car. This was her everyday car when she did leave the house. This is the car she liked to drive around in. It is a 2008. My mom, my dad's business was before he got into other things, was building high performance cars. He owned a company called Motion Performance, and so he had we always had cool fast cars around the house, and this was my mother's car. Yes. But she's looking at a new car. I think she wants to get a Mustang convertible. So that's what she's looking at now. Anyway, what else is going on? I know that we decided we're going to rework the signs that we put up. So we're actually redoing the sign up in the corner because I want to have a little bit more information on it. And we may redo this sign over here to have less information on it because the lettering is so small that unless if you're standing 10 feet in front of it, you can't see what the bottom text says, which, it is what it is. We are ramping up our wholesale division. We have a lot of things going on with that. If I have any dealers on right now, any koi dealers, we are slowly preparing our wholesale koi division. Michael and I will be running that. And if you have any questions about that, we're definitely give me a call. We do have a lot of koi available now. If you guys are looking for koi, we have a lot of koi available for wholesale. Just give me a call, 516-547-0164. Michael, say good morning. So I'm doing this specifically because Michael said he didn't want to be on camera this morning. So now we're going to stay for a while. I'm going to hold this on you for a while now. Michael, how was your week?
My week was pretty good so far.
Any room left in your luggage for me for your trip to Japan? Possibly.
There's always room.
Hi, Lisa. Kathy said her pond is still up. Doesn't want to close it until she has to. The coldest night will be 29, but the water won't freeze. Yes, you're correct. It's interesting. Michael, you close your pond, right?
I'm closing it on Thanksgiving. That's the ritual.
Oh, really?
On Thanksgiving
So on
Day,
Thanksgiving Day?
everyone's
that's what
outside at 8 o'clock in the morning closing down the pond.
So do a lot of you guys do the same thing? Do you wait till Thanksgiving Day or the day after Thanksgiving where a lot of people take off for the day after Thanksgiving to close up your pond? What do most of you do? So tell us about your setup.
So I run a 10 cubic foot bead filter.
What size is the pond?
It's 4,500 gallons.
4,500.
So it's a formal pond, so no fancy rocks and stuff like that. It's all square with a scupper set up as a waterfall that I can turn on and off. 3/4 horsepower Performance Pro pump into an X2 bead filter that they do still make it, I'm assuming. The
Yeah,
X2,
I believe they do.
But it's a 2-inch system, so it's my way of getting a 3-inch system when it's a dual in and out system.
Right. So I think a dual system, you're actually slightly larger than 3-inch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Running a 3-inch pump into two dual 2-inch lines.
So it's 2-inch. It's 2-inch in and then 2-inch
Out.
back out.
Yep.
So
Twice.
Right.
With 150 watts of UV.
Hey Regina, what's going on, Heath? Okay, cool. And so you net your pond?
The same day.
Same day.
Yeah. I should have netted it a long time ago. I just don't have the time.
So I don't know if you can see. I mean, the leaves are all over
everywhere.
they're all over the ground. Today, like, it's a very windy day. It's a little bit of a chill in the air. It's not too cold, but the wind is
What makes it colder?
is taking all the leaves off of all the trees. So today was a big day for leaves falling in our area. I'm not sure what it's like with you guys, but so I would expect by the next show that all the leaves on all the trees are going to be down and on the ground. So if you haven't gotten your ponds closed up, or you haven't gotten your nets on, so we start netting ponds for our customers end of September, early October. Did you ever put a net on your pond early? No?
Never had the time.
No. Never had the time because he's always at Coin Market. Well, cool. There you go. So, yeah, so everyone's closing their ponds. I would always push, and I try and push our customers, and we have a lot of customers, so we have to start the beginning of November, but we try and push our customers to close their ponds as late as possible. The reason is because your fish are going to be sitting dormant with water that's not moving for 5 or 6 months, depending on when you decide to open up your ponds and when you decide to close it. So it's the longer you push it out, the better it is for the fish. And I would advise if your fish are still eating and you can keep feeding, to keep feeding as long as you can, because you need your fish to just get everything they need to get before they go into the winter months and go into that torpor state. So as long as your fish are still eating, as long as when you put the food in there, it's not going right in the skimmer or it's not sitting at the top of the pond, then you should continue to feed your fish. And that question comes up quite often. Any questions from anyone? Nope.
Kathy Crowley says her pond is 54 degrees and they still want to eat like crazy.
Yeah, so Kathy was saying her pond is 54 degrees and they still want to eat like crazy. And you know what? You're going to have that. It's interesting. We have some customers, they could be across the street from each other. And in one pond they want to eat, and in another pond they don't want to eat at all. So, it has a lot to do with the temperament of your fish too, the aggressiveness of your fish to want to eat and want to continue eating. But they will eventually slow down and stop eating. So for those of you that may be new to the show or new to the hobby, maybe you have a new pond this year, your fish are going to go dormant. They're going to go down to the bottom and go into what's called a torpor state, and they're going to their bodies are going to slow down, and they definitely become much weaker through this process. And they'll stay down at the bottom of the pond until the pond warms back up again. Now, the question has come up, or the comment has come up, because we pick up new customers all the time, and we'll say, all right, we come and we put a net over the pond, and they'll say, well, no, like, I only want a net on the pond when the leaves are falling, but then I want to take it back off again. Well, I'll never tell a customer what they have to do, but I will always advise, and I always advise leaving the net on the entire winter. Why? the reason why you want to leave your net on the entire winter is because we will get some warmer days in winter where your fish may come up to the surface. And that's all well and good, except that they're so weak that you could literally scoop them out with your hands, okay? And if you can scoop them out with your hand, so can any predator. Predators, it's cold out, there's not a lot of food around, they're looking for food anywhere they can get it, okay? So leaving your net on the pond is not just for the leaves, it's also to protect your fish in the wintertime. So do I advise having a net on all winter? Absolutely. Do all of you guys put a net on over the winter? Do some of you guys put the net on in the fall and then take it off? I'm just curious. Let us know in the comments.
So Kevin Strum says, when they go into hibernation, do they completely stop moving around?
So do they completely? They will sit around, and if you walk up to the pond, they may move. So they're aware that you're there, and they're not necessarily sleeping. They've just slowed their bodies down. But they can and will move around. They won't sit in one spot the entire time. So if you go and see the fish in the morning in one spot, you'll probably see them moving somewhere else later on in the day. But they are not. They're basically conserving their energy, okay, because they're no longer eating, and when they're moving around, their bodies are using up energy, and without having a food source, they need to slow their bodies down and move around as little as possible, which is also why, when although they're always excreting ammonia, the amount of ammonia is so minuscule in the wintertime that if you did a water test in the winter, you probably wouldn't notice any type of ammonia spike. That being said, if we got some warm days or a warm week in the middle of winter, and guys, we're in New York, we have this. We've had a couple of years where we've had some, crazy 60 to 60 plus weather in the middle of winter for like a week, and the fish will come up and they'll start eating algae. And the reason why this is a bad thing, okay, so they'll start eating algae, they'll peck around the pond and they'll start eating. You do not want to be feeding your fish. I know that the temptation is there and you feel really bad for your fish and you want to feed them. You don't want to feed them because the beneficial bacteria, okay, your nitrosomonas and nitrobacter bacteria that would normally be removing the ammonia and nitrite that's created by the fish have either gone dormant or they've died off because it's gotten really cold. And any waste those fish create from eating that food, they're basically going to be sitting in it now. Okay, they're creating ammonia, it's sitting in the water. And guys, I mention this all the time, and for all intents and purposes, your koi pond is a toilet bowl. It sounds gross, but it's a toilet bowl. And without the beneficial bacteria, Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter, to remove that, and they won't start kicking in until your water is 60 and above, any ammonia that's in the water would be very toxic to your fish. So if you did get a warm bout in the middle of winter, you may want to check your parameters and perhaps do a water change. And we maintain a lot of our customers' ponds, and we do it through the winter as well. We test pH, KH, and we will test the ammonia, especially if we get some warmer water. And if we have to do a water change in the middle of winter, as long as the customer has water available, then we will do it. Any questions about this? I think this is a good subject to be talking about. I know that because we're in the fall, going into winter months, we talk about this stuff just about every episode, but I never know who's going to be on the show. So I think it's important to always have these conversations and for you guys to ask questions about this kind of stuff. This is why we're here. We're here to talk about these kind of things because we're all in this together. A hobby is not a lot of fun when you're doing it by yourself. I always say that. And we're here for you. The other people on this show, you should get familiar with the people and the names that are on there. You should friend these people because we're all in this together, and we're all part of a bigger group here, which is the koi and pond hobby. So please introduce yourselves to each other any way you can, and there are a lot of people that they don't even realize that there may be some other people on the show that might be in the same neighborhood or might be, within a town or two away from you. And it's always much more fun to be doing this with others that enjoy the same hobby. Any questions, any comments about what we're talking about? No? All right. I am going to talk about aeration again, and I'm going to talk about it because it's super important. And the reason why is we had multiple customers come in this week, and when asked if they had an aerator set up for their pond, they were like, what do I need an aerator for? And so, as many times as I've discussed aeration, I feel like I have to discuss it again. If you guys don't want me to, please tell me if you don't want me to mention aeration again. But so aeration is one of the most important parts of any ponds. Okay, obviously filtration is super important. Okay, filtration, circulation, and aeration, the three most important things. Okay, an aeration system provides oxygen for your fish. It provides oxygen for your beneficial bacteria, and that's your nitrifying bacteria and your sludge-eating bacteria that's going to break down the debris in the ponds. Okay, it's going to create current and flow, so it's actually going to pull debris up from the bottom and can actually push it in a direction. Okay, so you always want to make sure that your aerator is not blocking your skimmer. In fact, it's opposite the skimmer, to the left or to the right or underneath the waterfall, so it's helping to push debris towards the skimmer because it's going to help you get debris out. If you have a thinner pond, having an aerator will actually create a blockade that will stop debris from getting from one side over to the other side where the skimmer is. So you have to thoughtfully, strategically place your aeration diffuser in the right location. Okay? It destratifies the pond, and what that means is it takes the low oxygen from the bottom and it mixes it with the higher oxygen water at the top of the pond. Okay, getting rid of dead zones, which is really important. And one of the most important things is that in the wintertime, it keeps a hole in the ice and it degasses the pond. So it has so many purposes inside your pond. It does so much, and we come across customers all the time that do not have aeration in their ponds. And did we sell 2 more towers? Didn't we have 4 of those? Oh, it was. Okay. Sorry, it's my ADD getting the best of me. We just talked about that this morning. I might have chewed on a little bit of lead when I was younger. So anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about aeration. Does anyone have any questions about aeration? I think it's a really important subject. One of the things I didn't mention when it comes to aeration is the placement of that aeration in the wintertime. And we have talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it again. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Rory. So when it comes to aeration in wintertime, so we generally don't like to keep the aeration on the bottom of the pond. If you have an aerated bottom drain, in wintertime, what I would do, it would be to disconnect the aeration from the main line that feeds that aerated bottom drain. And this is the reason why. So geothermally, the earth is heating up the pond to an extent. Okay, your fish are going down to the bottom where it's warmest. Okay, and you don't want to take cold air from the bottom. So if your air pump is sitting above ground, which all of our air pumps are sitting above ground, you don't want to send that air down to the bottom where it's warmest, because it's going to supercool the entire pond. So rather, you take that hose and you're going to pull it up and keep it about a foot below the surface, so it keeps a hole in the ice, still aerates the pond. There's a lot more oxygen in the colder water, but it also degasses and keeps a hole in the ice, but it doesn't put the fish in harm's way. So if you're able to do this, you should do it. If you have an aerated bottom drain, disconnect the aerator from the main line that's running to that aerated bottom drain. Now, I would make sure to blow some air into that line and then plug it up, because you don't want any water going back into that air line and then freezing and cracking that line. And I would run a separate line from the aerator over the side of the pond for the winter, and you can always disconnect that afterwards and hook it back up in the spring. Any questions about that? How many people are on? 29? 29 seems to be the magic number for the last couple of weeks. We've stuck at that number for a few weeks now. We have some pretty cool ideas about what we're going to be doing here. I talked to you guys a little bit about what's happening over here. One of the things that's going to happen in this area, at least it's a pretty cool idea, actually it was from Al from Sound Shore Ponds had, is all these bricks are coming out of here. And this structure is going to come out of here as well. And what I think we're going to do is we're going to build a large box here that's about the height of this here. This is about 2 feet high right here. So we're going to have a box that comes across here and across the back. Then we're going to use, these are aqua blocks. We're going to fill this entire box. This building will come down. This whole box will get filled with aqua blocks. And we're going to put lots of fountains in this area so you can step up and walk through our fountain area all in one place. We're going to do a wall along the back that has various shear descents and scuppers coming out of the wall so you can see how they look. And then it's going to be the entrance to this back area here. And the back area, I know that I've been playing around with, do I want to put the aquatic plants area back here or do I want to do something else over here? We may do some more ponds back in this area, and then we have a whole other area over there that I have not told you guys what we're doing yet. Because quite honestly, we haven't signed an agreement with the company to do it yet. So I don't want to say anything until we finalize. But it's something very interesting. We'll talk about that more when it happens. But it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about what we're going to do in this area. This whole, all this brick, everything over here is going to go away. And I know I keep talking about this every show, and nothing has happened yet, but it will happen soon. So we've started winterizing. Chris has started putting most of the bonsai away. Yes, question. So yes, so no sake bar there, but when we do the outdoor living room in front, we are going to do a sake bar up front. We want to have this awesome living room type space where all of our guests that come to the store will have a place to go, a place that we can talk about projects, a place that we can talk about koi, a place where we can do meetings. So we're excited about that. Is it getting colder? The sun is coming up, but I feel like it's getting colder out, not warmer. Let's go inside. Any other comments or questions? So we finally picked up some fans with lights. You can see we got our first fan up in the ceiling. There it is. Yay. So we have 4 fans going up here. We're going to try and cut down on electrical use a little bit here. The electricity use here is pretty high, and we're about to do a whole bunch more projects outside, which is going to make that electrical use go up even more. Sorry, my glasses are fogging up. We're always open to ideas on how to change that, but we do use certain types of equipment, so it does make things a little bit more difficult to change because we do use certain types of equipment, and that you have, it is what it is. We've talked about doing solar here. I think the solar array would have to be absolutely massive if we decided to do it. The amount of electrical use we have here is just huge. We do have our generator is now set up in the back, which will kick on all the aeration systems if, God forbid, the electrical goes off. So that's something pretty cool that we've been waiting a long time to get set up and running, but is now just about there. It's all in place. We're just hooking up the gas line. So that's pretty cool. We have talked about the space here. If you guys haven't heard, listen, I didn't give it the attention that it needed. But the aquarium area, I think I've decided that we're going to sell off all the tanks, and we're just going to have look-down tanks like this tank for all the goldfish moving forwards. It's just, I think it's a better approach. We're really not in the aquarium fields, although we talked about it and we wanted to do it. It's just, I don't know if it's really for us. Taking care of these tanks, with all the other stuff that has to go on, it's just, it's very, quite honestly, it's very time consuming. And, so if anyone is interested in purchasing this entire setup for something they want to put in their basement or for a retail store, let me know. Give me a call, 516-547-0164. Hey, Trav. My son Travis is here. So the three of us are going to Japan. Travis, Michael, and I are heading to Japan on December 2nd. We're pretty excited about that. We've been making lots of plans. We ordered some pretty cool gifts to bring from America for the breeders, and we're looking forward to our trip. We're looking for guys. I love unique fish, so I'm definitely going to be looking for more unique stuff. I'm going to be looking a lot less for stuff we already have. Because quite honestly, we have a lot of fish. So the idea here is to just get some really unique stuff. If you have something you're interested in that you want us to get, let us know. If you want to be on our, what is this? Kinki Showa. Travis said he wants Kinki Showa. So, I've seen Kishoa, Kin Kishoa, but I've seen Kishoa, which is something that's actually started popping up over the last couple of years. If you have something interesting that you want us to look at or find for you, please let me know. We are working on setting up a WhatsApp. So if you are on WhatsApp or you want to download WhatsApp and contact us, please do. We would love to be able to forward you videos as we're seeing them in Japan. So as I'm looking at a bull, I can go and I can say, all right, this fish is for sale, and I can send it directly to you. But in order to do that, you need to get me your information on WhatsApp. So if you don't have WhatsApp, you can download it in the App Store. I think on both Android and on iPhone. So if you don't have it, definitely download it. Do you guys use WhatsApp? How many of you guys have WhatsApp? What was that? That is what we're going to be using. Will we be doing a live show while we're in Japan? I would like to, but understand that Japan is 13 hours ahead of us. So the timing is going to be very off from what we would normally do. Most of you guys are going to be sleeping. So we have to figure that out. Maybe we'll change the time of our show. We have to talk about that. We're looking into it. But if you guys have any questions about us going to Japan, let me know. I am bringing a couple of extra bags with me so that I can bring some cool stuff back from Japan. Always fun to have stuff that you just don't see or can easily get here in the States. Any questions, comments? Hey Lloyd, what's up, brother? Yeah. It's so funny. We've actually thought about it, Lloyd. We've definitely thought about it. So Lloyd and I have been friends for a long time. Good morning, buddy. Lloyd, also known as the Pond Monster, is one of the top pond builders in the country. And Lloyd and I actually took this amazing trip to Poland with Gerard Tui many years ago. How many years ago was that? It's got to be, I'm going to say 6, maybe between 5 and 7 years ago. So there was a time when we were the exclusive importer for Yoshiki Goi Koi, and they did some really amazing fish. We just unfortunately had some issues with the fish when they came to the States, and we decided not to pursue. It was what it was, but one of the best trips of my life was going with Gerard and Lloyd to Poland. It was a lot of fun. What? I drank too much to remember. We drank a lot. We drank a lot. So our drink of choice, I think, was Cafe Patron. We drank a lot of Cafe Patron, but we drank a lot in general. But it was a very memorable trip. I mean, here we are, years and years later. I'm still talking about that trip. We had a lot of fun. Would we be interested in opening a koi market in Florida? Absolutely. Would we be interested in opening a koi market in other locations? Sure. We've definitely talked about it. I would first like to make sure that I have everything running at 100% here before I decide to go and do it somewhere else. We have a lot of things that we're working on right now with the store, with the business itself. We have our new wholesale business. We have our wholesale koi business. We have our wholesale business for hard goods. We now do wholesale for Aquascape. We do wholesale for Blue Thumb, for Siche. We have a couple of other companies on the list as well. And then we're trying to spend some time this winter really working on our wholesale koi business. That's an area that we're pretty excited about. So again, if you're interested in purchasing koi wholesale, which would be buying, in bulk, if you have a retail store that you're looking to sell fish, the type of fish that we have, that the health of our fish is superior to most of the other guys out there because of our protocols that we have in place. We're happy to work with you. Just give me a call, 516-547-0164. How many people we have on? 25. Yes. It is hot in here. Go listen. So Tara said Goshiki Showa. If anything comes up, and guys, with a lot of these different types that are unique, a lot of breeders aren't necessarily breeding them. I mean, they're having a spawn, and they're going to have a couple of these fish come out, and they're just unique fish. I'm sweating like crazy in here. So weird because it was freezing outside. I'm going to open this really quick just to get some air in here. So a lot of these unique different types of fish they're not necessarily trying to breed out those fish because they're breeding out what people are looking for. Like if there's a call for like X, then that's the fish that they're breeding. A lot of times they'll have one-offs of different types of fish, or they'll have a couple of that type of fish, but there is not a large spawn of that. So you get a couple of them, they'll probably stick it in the Kawari category until it eventually, if it becomes really big and they actually name that fish and it becomes like another type of koi. So what was that, Goshiki Showa? I mean, all these things are things that could be. Just like a Ki Showa, which is instead of the Benny, it's just you have yellow, so it's Ki. It's pretty cool. I have started seeing a few of those pop up over the years. If we see them and they look nice, and a lot of times, you see something different, but it's, a different type of fish, but it doesn't necessarily look that great. We get customers that are always asking for Kage Shiros, but very rarely do you actually see a Kage that looks nice. They're just not so great. That being said, I'm always on the hunt for Deutz Goshiki. I love Deutz Goshiki. Deutz Goromo is another really unique one that I'm interested in. Ginrin Budo Goromo is another one that I'll be searching for. These are things that I know that customers have asked for, and if we come across them, I know that they're pretty rare. Even getting some really nice Nisai, Sansai, Ginrin, Saragoi. I got 2 of them. We sold 1 of them already. I have another one. We got them from Coda. They're really hard to get. You know why? Breeders aren't breeding them. So they're much rarer and much more unique because breeders are not putting a lot into them. And it's interesting, you know, a lot of times we'll try and, you know, tell the future of what's going to be popular this year versus last year, and it's everything kind of goes in trends, and you know, platinums were the thing for a while, and then platinums weren't the thing, and Yamabukis were a big thing, and then it was whatever it may be. You know what? It's we try, us especially, we try and have a very large breadth of koi types so that we can cater to what everyone's looking for. I mean, we do house a lot of fish, and we try and keep you know a minimum of around 10,000 fish in here because we don't just sell fish online. You know, we actually don't really sell a lot of fish online. We sell a lot of fish during the show, but we also sell a lot of fish in the store during the season. So we have a lot of customers that come in to buy fish, and that is, you know, one of the main reasons why we try and have a large variety, because everyone has different tastes. You know, if I ask you what's your favorite fish, it's going to be different than this guy, and this guy. It's like me asking what's your favorite music. Everyone has a different opinion on what their favorite music is. Everyone has their own koi type that they love. There are so many. I mean, there are literally hundreds of types. I am curious, you know, what is everyone's favorite koi type? You know, I want to know. Like, what is your favorite koi? Tell me. Michael just walked away. He's guiding Travis on taking some pictures of the car because we're trying to sell the Saturn Sky. So he's taking photos. Okay. I'm going to walk over to the camera to see if anyone's commenting because Michael just stepped away for a second. Haha. Mark said he drank a lot of Patron at the Pirate Street Festival last night. So my favorite is actually is Cafe Patron, which they discontinued. I was pretty upset they discontinued, but another company that was making Cafe Patron is actually going to be releasing a new product that's just like it. And Lloyd said, yes, I missed the Orlando Koi Show. Lloyd, I stopped going to the Orlando Koi Show. It just didn't make sense for us to keep going. Quite honestly, you know, lots of people have asked, like, oh, how come you didn't go to the Orlando Koi Show? Well, you know, I love going to see Lloyd. That was one of my main reasons for going. But you know, I am getting older. It's a really long drive, and although I was driving with someone, I usually did most of the driving. I'm just one of those people who doesn't like sitting in the passenger seat. And a couple of years ago, a quite famous koi guy passed away, a gentleman by the name of Carl Force, who had just left the Orlando show, fell asleep at the wheel, and unfortunately hit a truck and passed away. And it just was and you don't want to, things always change when something big happens. And for me, like, you know, hearing that happen, you know, I decided I was no longer going to do the drive to the Orlando show. It's just, yeah. No, I heard them. They asked me. So we were doing koi shows for a bit, and you know, if it's a local show, then we're definitely interested. So if you do have a koi club that you want us to be in, then absolutely. And we would love to, we are going to be doing more shows with the Koi Farmer product line, which I'm pretty excited to have launched. That's doing really well. We've sold quite a bit of the bacterial control koi food and quite a bit of the nitro, of our pure nitro product. So they did phenomenally well. So yeah, we will be doing the koi show circuit with those products.
So koi types that people
So golden corn. So it's really interesting. Guys, send me some pictures of everyone's golden corn that have grown out. Everything that I've seen that's actually grown out has been, I'm going to be nice about it and say not so nice. I have yet to see anyone's Tosai golden corn that they've purchased for a lot of money turn into anything that was nice. But that doesn't mean that they don't exist. I just haven't seen any. So if you have some nice golden corn that you've purchased that are now Nisai, Sansai, I'd love to see them. Please, you could text me at 516-547-0164. What else?
Jim Lepolchek, his favorite is Showa. Mike Gordon's favorite is Asagi. Kathy Price says she loves Sargo and enjoys Showa.
Okay, hold on. So let me. So Jim loves Showa. I mean, guys, they're the three most popular types. You took pictures? Send them to your mother. The three most popular types of koi in Japan are what's called the Gosanke. Okay, the Showa, the Sanke, and the Kohaku. Those are the three types that will win as a grand champion in Japan. I don't believe that there's ever been anything other than, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that there's ever been anything other than a Sanke, a Showa, or a Kohaku that's won as grand champion. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, that's fine. I mean, please tell me. Showa are always popular, and we will be picking up some nice Showa on our way. We do actually have some very nice Showa here, which we need to start showing off some more. We have some amazing fish from Showa from Marusei, some Nisai going on Sansai at this point that are really, really nice. This is mostly a larger fish trip. So this is generally, although there will be some Tosai available, this is not the time for Tosai. But if there are some nice Tosai available, we'll definitely be going there. We'll be making a big trip to my most favorite and beloved koi farm, Aoki. That's obviously a no-brainer for us. But we will be going to many koi farms. And we'll go over the list with you pretty soon. It's quite an extensive list. So we're there for 2 weeks. We're there from December 2nd to the 16th. And I think we're doing koi from the 2nd till the 9th. And then the 10th we head out. We head out to have a little bit of a vacation. I don't know. I mean, if I personally need to do more koi hunting while I'm there, I certainly will. But let's see what happens over the first week. So I'm pretty excited to go there with Michael and Travis, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to having you guys along there for the ride. And so you also mentioned Asagi is one of your favorites. It's also a favorite of mine. I'm always a fan of Asagi. If you guys don't know, Asagi is the first of all Japanese colored carp. Nishikigoi is the Asagi. It was the first fish that was found in the rice paddy fields. When they had standard carp, the first mutation of a fish was found, and they called it an Asagi. And that was the first koi. I'm always a big fan of Asagi. Always have been and always will be. What else is on that list?
Michael Adrian said high quality Asagi. Jake Backsteller said.
Hi, Jake.
John Woodward also likes Sanke and Showa.
Chagoi is always one of those that everyone's got to have a Chagoi in their pond, guys. It's just, they are the closest to the original carp, but for whatever reason, they're always the friendliest of all the koi. And it's just, everyone just has to have one. It doesn't always become the biggest fish in your pond. I mean, obviously genetics play a role in that. But for whatever reason, they're always the friendliest fish in the ponds. So it's nice to have, because they also show the other fish that it's okay to come and greet someone when they walk up to the ponds, which is really cool. What was that?
So Lloyd said collaboration with the monster, shipping down, we'll set it up, you and Rob will fly down just about.
Always open to having a discussion about that, Lloyd. Always open. We'll talk more about it. Sounds cool. Michael, I have to run for a couple of seconds. I'm going to need you to take the camera and just maybe walk around the big koi house or something. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you that. Good. Right back.
All right, guys. We are going to go take a trip to the big koi house while Sean sorts out his stuff. We were talking about how Chris is putting away all the bonsai trees. It's definitely coming to that point of the season where it's getting a little too cold for them to fully be exposed to the elements. We need to take some cover. So something we did was we hung up the sign from last week above the big koi tank, which I think it looks really, really nice. Adds to the aesthetic of this koi house. We have some other comments of favorite koi, and while I talk about them, I'm going to set you guys up here to look at our big koi tank, which never seems to fail. Jeremy says he likes the Kinshoa, which we have one here. Let's see if he comes back around so you can see him better. Right there. There he is. Really nice Kinshoa. Jim Gill says he likes his Ochiba. His Ochiba turned into a Chagoi. And that, tends to sometimes happen with these breeds of fish because they're so close in bloodline. The Chagoi and the Sargoi were mixed together to create that Ochiba, and some genetics may just become more dominant later on. Good morning, David. How's it going? If somebody's having trouble with the stream, try to log out and log back in and see if that helps. But if not, let me know. Steve Ramsey says his favorite is Goshiki, which Goshiki is Sean can attest to, one of his favorites as well. It's just something about the Goshiki, especially when they're super high quality. It just stands out in the pond. Is it okay for a Sargoi to have some brown in it? Well, it's not an unhealthy thing. It's not like it's, changing their genetics. But they've been crossbreeded many times that sometimes you get those genetics flaring up in the fish. So, is it okay? Health-wise, yes. Now, if you're talking about grading the quality of the fish, then no. Obviously, judges frown upon any sort of impurities depending on the type of fish that you have. We're going to feed these guys a bit. Here's a Showa from Marusei right here. Super, super nice Showa. Here's another one. These guys are getting really, really big. We have some high quality Hiyutsuri in here from Shinoda. Ginrin Ochiba. a Tancho Ochiba, high quality Benikiko from Aoki, Goromo. We have a Karasu in here. He's right there. See the orange belly under him. Plenty of Tancho to choose from. Our famous Chagoi, who loves to get fed. Let's see. There she is. Always asking for food. Likes to get hand fed. Our Mukashi is still in here, and she's just getting bigger and bigger every day. If anybody's interested in a Mukashi, she's right there. Yamabuki, Kiyutsuri, Deutsch Showa right here. Really, really nice Deutsch Showa. Platinum as well. Another Hiruse Showa. The Deutsch Showa again. Super nice Deutsch Showa right here in the front. That one's from Shinoda. Super, super clean.
Sorry about that, guys. Had to make a quick stop. So, I am happy to show any fish that you guys are interested in, but I don't necessarily want to pull out fish if you guys don't want to do fish today. So let me know what your thoughts are. If you're interested in doing fish, then I am happy to bowl some really nice fish for you. No comments? How many people are on? 27 people on. I mean, I was telling you that I have some really nice Showa here from Hiruse. Huh? Here's one right here that is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know if you can see Michael's hand pointing at them. Right here you got one right in front of you right there. He's kissing, he's about to swallow the Ochiba. I have an absolutely gorgeous Budo Goromo in here, coming around right now. Here's a really nice Benikiko. Here's the Budo coming up right here. Mukashi, this is a very, very, look at how close he is. That's probably the closest he's ever been to me.
She's been getting very comfortable.
She hasn't eaten out of my hand yet, like some of the others. Hey guys. I have yet to have the Mukashi eat out of my hands, but eventually. Okay. There you go. Oh, I just did it just now. That was a first. What was that?
D. Michelle.
Hi, D.
She said, we always want to do fish. Point at some and give us browsers pricing.
Browser's pricing.
Like without pulling them out.
Sure. I mean, these big Tancho in here are going for 5,000 each. These very large female Hiyutsuri in here are going for, I think they're going for around between 3,000 and 3,500 from Shinoda. Very red Hiyutsuri. This platinum right here is a very large female platinum. Just swam by me from Tanaka. That I think was going for 4. It was going for 4,000. This Budo Goromo here. Remember the price on the Budo Goromo? Here's, come here. The Budo Goromo's over here. That one's going for 4,000.
What about the solid black?
The Karasu. The Karasu is going for 2,000. This Benny Kiko right here is an absolutely gorgeous Benny Kiko right here. I think we had it. It was going for, what was that, 35? I think it was going for 3,500 from Aoki. This big Benny Kiko right here, going for 3,000. That big female Benny Kiko. This really unique Tancho Ochiba right here is going for 2,000. Hey guys, how much are the Marusei going for? The Marusei Showas are going for 3,000. You guys are always hungry. If anyone wants to see any of these up close, I can put them in a bowl. I have some Showa in here from Dainichi. What was the Yamabuki going for? Oh, he's right here. He's so close. He's so close. Okay. That was the Yamabuki. Where is it?
Top one. Number 19. It's the top one.
Yeah. That was going for 35. So this big, where was that from? So we have the Yamabuki. That's right there from Hiroshin. That's going for 3,500. Guys, the great thing here, and what I want you guys to remember, and we haven't talked about this today, but we talk about it every episode, is we have free boarding, we have free layaway, and we have free shipping on Southwest Cargo for all these fish. If you're spending $650 or more, we will ship for free on Southwest Cargo. Okay? Our layaway program allows you to pay the fish off throughout the process of the boarding. So you can pay the fish off up until the fish ships in the spring, which is amazing. And we will board the fish for free, which means we will hold the fish, we will care for the fish at no cost to you during that whole process. So if you see a fish you like here, you can pay that fish off until spring.
Jake was asking for Deutsche Showa, how much do some of the smaller ones go for?
So I have Deutsche Showa for $200. I have Deutsche Showa for a couple $1,000. I can certainly bring you in and show you the $200 Deutsche Showa if you'd like to see those. Those are I have from Suzuki. I still have some left. I have some Deutsche Showa in the $1,000 range that are gorgeous, if you'd like to see those. And then I go up from there.
Tara Rocks is asking,
Hey, Tara.
do you have any other Tancho or Chiba? Or is that the only
That is the only one I have, is that Tancho Ochiba.
Rob Conway says would love to see
Small, so smaller in the $1,000 range.
D. Michelle says, let's see the $200 ones.
All right, we can go in there and pull out the $200 ones. Oh, here's another really interesting. There's a Ginrin Matsukao Baki.
Lloyd says, gotta run. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Lloyd, love you, brother. We'll talk soon. It's a really nice Deutsch shower right here. Here, guys. Come and get it. Come and get it. Really nice Benny Kiko right here. See the Sumi Black is coming out. Here's the Goromo, the Budo Goromo, the Chagoi. I don't know if you can see while I'm doing this. There's a gorgeous Platinum right here from Tanaka. There's my own personal Benny Kiko right there, who is not getting any bigger. Before we get into the Deutz, would you guys like to see the grow out fish that we'll be selling in December? I could show you some of that stuff. Let's go take a look at that first. So good question. You have a mix of Nisei, Sansei, and Yansei. I would say mostly Sansei in here. You have a few Yansei. So Sansei 3-year-old, Yansei 4-year-old, Gosei 5-year-old. We do have 1 or 2 Gosei in here. Or at least Yansei going on Gosei. All right, one more, guys, and then we're going to go take a walk. So this pond, this is 7.5 feet down to the bottom. You can see crystal clear all the way down to the bottom of this pond. There's the Ginrin Matsukao Baki. He's kind of hiding right there. There he is. Got a white belly. And I do have a lot of Ginrin Matsukao Baki Tosai in the back, which unfortunately I had with bigger fish to grow out, and they just didn't grow because the bigger fish took all the food and they grew. So, you know, lesson learned not to put small Tosai in with the bigger guys. But Michael, let's take a walk over to where we're doing our grow out. Now, guys, these fish are not available yet. They're still in grow out. But come December, January, is this on? Okay. Come December, January, they will be coming up for sale. Now, this is all, Chris has brought in a whole bunch of tropical bonsai, just so you can see really quickly. He brought in a whole bunch of the tropical bonsai. We brought in the water lettuce that we had left just to save it for next season. You can see a couple of these really cool, unique trees. This is what's called a cork bark jade. And many of you have seen jades, but you haven't seen a cork bark jade. You can see that on there. It's pretty cool. Cork bark are always a rarer type. And there's lots of different trees that are cork bark version. Chris has got this cork bark pine at his house. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. But take a look at the body on the caliber of this tree there. Look at that. How cool is that? A lot of cool, unique trees and things. I mean, look at the colors on this right here. Not even sure if I should be touching this right now, but I am. Pretty cool. You know, this is Chris is slowly taking over everything in here. So, yeah. All right. So, we're going to take a walk over to our quarantine house where we've also been doing grow out. You know, we've been growing out fish for many years, for as long as I can remember doing this. We've also been buying and picking fish to grow out. So this is one of our grow out tanks here. And you can see how much bigger these guys got. You know, I want to clean my hands first. The alcohol in here? Not. So I had a little wound on my hand. It's okay. Perfect. There was a bottle right here. So, I don't know if anyone's commenting, but you can see. So the grow out process can be, 6 months. It can be years. It depends on the fish. These are tosi that we purchased earlier in the season, and you can see just how. I mean, some of the fish have not grown at all, and some of the fish have just taken off, and are spectacular. You have some really nice showa in here. Can I get the net? I'm going to grab a couple of things. Let's see what I grab here. Just give me a second. So some of the ones that really took off were, we had these really tiny Ginrin Yamabuki, and check it out how big they got. They're so cool. Look at that Ginrin Yamabuki, guys. Gorgeous. Here, Asagi. We grew out some Asagi. You guys look at this. This Asagi is amazing. Look at that. And the Kinshoa were tiny. They were like 3 inches. And look at how big they got. You can see some. Here's a smaller one here. We're growing out Showa. You can see how big the Showa are getting. I don't have any pricing. I know you guys are going to ask. We're growing out some unique. These are, and I know that Andy Din was looking for. These are Wagoi Lemon Harawaki. You see that right here. Pretty rare. You don't see. Mostly you see Deutz like this. Deutz Lemon Harawaki, but not Wagoi scaled. And then Kinshoa. I'm a big fan of Kinshoa, guys. And check out the Showa. There is a Ginrin Asagi. Let's grab another scoop. I wanted you guys to see some of this stuff. Okay. So I had a couple of bigger fish that I was growing out. They grew a lot bigger. Here is a Kikakiryu that grew a lot bigger. Wow, really put on a lot of size. Check that out. Here is a Deutz. This is a Deutz Shirutsuri from Suzuki. Here's some more of the Ginrin Yamabuki, guys. Guys, you will not see these anywhere else. These Ginrin Yamabuki. Very cool. We have Budo Goromo in here. Still on the small side. Again, look at these Showa, guys. Check these out. Look at that. The show is really coming out nice. Gorgeous. Yeah, these are all Goromo. See, they're all starting to get colored. Here's another Kinshoa. Not really putting on the size like I'd like. Here's another. I mean, look at the difference in the size of this Budo Goromo. It's all darkening up. Really nice. What do you think of these guys? Any comments? A lot of comments. I'm really excited about the way these guys are coming out. Some huge surrey, which will hopefully start to get, the bedding will start to redden up soon. Some more Budo Goromo. You know, I wanted to get, there's Kinshoa, another Kinshoa. I know these looks like a Kohaku and not a Goromo. You can, I don't see anything, it's Kohaku. Really cool. I'll grab one more scoop. Come on, guys. What did I get here? All right, so we have, so this is one of the fish that we were growing out here. We have some Sean Shiki in here, which were the Goshiki Shusui hybrids from Tanaka. Check that out. Here's another one here. There's a really, really cool Kinshoa. Another nice Budo Goromo. Another nice Showa. A nice Kohaku coming into its own. Some nice fish in here. Very, very happy with the progress. Here's some more uniques. Very, very nice Asagi. Really, you can see each individual scale. Here is a Deutz Concho Showa. It's from Suzuki. Some more Showa growing out. Kyutsuri. A really nice Showa here. Check out these Showa. Very, very nice. These Showa are from Tanaka. Looking really good. I want to see some more Kinshoa. I'm not sure if this is the same one I pulled before. Some of the fish, you can see, some of the fish just don't grow. You know, they're just not aggressive eaters like the others. There's a lemon harawaki, just didn't grow. Here's another Sean Shiki, didn't grow out. And here's a really nice Shusui. Gorgeous, gorgeous scalation down the spine. Very nice Showa. Any comments? So we are. I just finished the Sarah food, and right now we're actually back onto our Blackwater growth food. I'm gonna grab another scoop here. Here in this one, what do we see here? That's some more uniques. This is a Deutz P Showa. Gorgeous. That's from Suzuki. Check out these Kinshoa, guys. So cool. And these Goromo and Budo Goromo are really coming in. Look at this Kinshoa here. Really nice. It's an amazing fish. And guys, these are, look at the size of this Asagi. All these Asagi are the same age, but look at the difference here. This is going to be a big fish. Check that out. This Asagi got huge compared to all the others. And they're just, it's so interesting. You know, they're in their DNA. They're just a larger bodied. They're just destined to be a larger bodied fish, and they're going to be more aggressive than some of the other fish. It's just the way it is with everything. We have some Ginrin Utsuri in here. There's another nice Shusui, some more nice Showa. There's a Ginrin Utsuri right here. We have a few of those. There's another Budo Goromo. Very nice Showa. Nice Kohaku pattern underneath. We actually have a couple of tanks of fish that we're growing out. You know what, guys? I just want to make, we do this so that we're going to have lots of fish for you guys to see over the winter and buy over the winter. That's why we're growing these out for you. And check out this gorgeous Ginrin Goshiki from Aoki. Look at that. There's a Kujaku Morisagi from Kohaku. Here's a Ginrin Showa. The Morisagi. I hope you guys are getting as excited as I am. This is actually the first time I put a net in this tank since we put them in here. Oh, this is literally the first time.
What properties do you look for in a Goromo and Budo Goromo? How the color, pattern?
It's actually a type that I'm learning more about. I mean, you can see here I have a Budo Goromo from Suzuki right here. I mean, these are from two different breeders. Looking for that deep grape color. I mean, these guys from Suzuki definitely came out much earlier. You're looking for a nice Shiroji, white. Nice balanced pattern, of course. Well, we got the Goromo and Budo Goromo we have. I can't remember where we got those. Were they from Izumiya? I don't remember. I have to take a look and see where we got them from. But I mean, they may end up just being I Goromo and not Budo Goromo. If that deep grape color really comes out, we have to see. But these guys from Suzuki, they definitely matured quite a bit faster as far as their colors really coming out. But what's interesting about the Goromo, and when we got our Tosai Goromo in, they all look like Kohaku. So to me, it's like, how could they even tell the difference when they were so small that they were Goromo? But now you can see all that coming out. I'll show you as an example. Come on, guys. I'm sure I'll catch one in here. There you can see. Normally you would look at this fish like a Kohaku, but you can see when it was smaller, there was none of this coming out. But you can now see all the brown is starting to come out through the bedding here. See that? Check that out. Look at that. What a gorgeous. Look at the fukurin in between the scales on this Ginrin Yamabuku. Fukurin is the skin in between. Really cool. But Goromo and Budo Goromo, I'm just starting to get into. It wasn't something that I was really following too hard in the past, but over the last year or so, I've really started to change my interest a little bit and get more into them. So that also means just learning more about how they do develop, and we are going to be doing that. Now this room is filled with sold fish. Here's a tank of sold fish. All these fish over on this side are all sold fish. So when you buy a fish during our shows, they go into these tanks. They're very well taken care of. They're very well fed, and you can see all these fish. These are all sold fish. Now let me just clean my hands here. Here's another tank of fish in grow out. Now you guys really haven't seen these. So what do we have in here? We have some very interesting fish in here. Okay, the kujaku and some of the tancho are actually from Isa Koi Farm. This is the first time we purchased from Isa, and this is actually the first kujaku that they produced. Okay, this is their first attempt at doing kujaku, and we bought a box from them. And although they were a little bit bigger when we got them, they're aggressive eaters, and you can see that the massive size of them compared to the other fish. So we have the Ginrin Matsu Kalbaki that are in here, which I think Mark Kubler has one of these fish in here somewhere. Mark, your fish is still in here somewhere. These guys have not grown very much at all. And a big reason for that is because the bigger fish are taken from that. So we will be separating these fish. You can see some larger Ginrin Matsu Kalbaki, but for the most part, these guys stayed exactly the same size. We also have Ginrin Hiyusuri in here. I have Ginrin Goromo in here as well. Any comments? No comments? I also have a grow out over here. And this is an Aoki tank here. These guys are also growing out. So these guys were pretty small, all around the same size, so they're all growing at around the same rate. Not sure you're going to be able to see them too well. Oh, there they are. You can see them. They have Ginrin Matsu Kalabaki and Kikakiryu and Beni Kikakiryu and Kikikakiryu and some Kujaku in there, and there's a lot of different varieties in here. Doitsuki Matsuba. That's really it. Any questions about anything? Any more comments about anything? So I can go and make a bowl of Deutsch Show if you want me to go do that. Let's go sell some fish. We're going to head on over to the Tosai house. Well, it's called the Small Koi House. Michael's just going to get set up over here while I go pull some fish. So I was going to pull some Deutsch Show and some Deutsch Sanke that we have available. How you doing? I thought we just carried this bowl over, but it seemed to work pretty good last time. Just grabbing some Deutsch Show and some Deutsch Sanke. Oh, look. One more scoop. Anything else?
You got the one
All right, so got some Deutsch Show and Deutsch Sanke here. I'm going to bring over. A very nice bowl of fish here. Okay. Okay, kids. I'm going to carry this bowl over with Michael. These are Deutsch Showa from Suzuki. I'm gonna Guys, have a look. I need to set up another bowl. Guys, this entire bowl is for sale if someone's interested. You guys are looking for... These are all Deutz. They're all Deutz. Have a quick look. I'm just going to grab some water. All right. So guys, these are $200 each. Let's have a couple of conversations first. So we understand that your ponds are closed now, and you're not putting fish in your pond because they're closed. So we do offer free boarding and free layaway. So if you buy fish, moving forwards, we will board the fish until spring. You have to pay that fish off. Okay, in equal payments every month until the fish ships. You know, as long as you guys will abide by how we do things here, and that's you have to pay an equal payments throughout, not pay it all at the ends. We don't do that. If you decide to back out, and this has happened, if you decide to back out of the deal midway through, you do lose whatever money you put in. That's just the way we do. We're putting up, we're covering the boarding. We're doing free shipping. We're doing a free layaway. We're taking care of the fish. We're feeding the fish. We're doing everything we have to do. It takes a lot to keep the lights on in this place. If you did decide to back out during the boarding process, you would lose your payment. That's just how it goes. We've sold thousands of fish, and literally thousands of fish. In our shows, and this is how we do it. And throughout the winter, you can continue to buy fish and add to that box and fill up that box throughout the whole winter. As long as you're continuing to pay for your fish, you can continue to add fish to your box. We have no issue with that. So what you have in front of you are a whole bowl of Tosai, Deutz Showa, Deutz Sake, and you have a couple of Deutz Shiro in here. Let me take my glasses off because it's just very, very warm in here. These guys are anywhere from, I mean, the smallest one, there's only one really small one in here. The average size in here is, I'm going to say, they're 9 to 11 inches. And they're going for $200. You're not going to find Deutz Showa of this quality from Suzuki, who is no longer breeding fish. He is retired. This was the last shipment from Suzuki, and you guys, if you've watched the show before, you know that we had we sold a lot of fish from this shipment, and you guys bought some amazing fish. I could start netting some fish, and you guys can say yay or nay. I would love to just sell this whole bowl. This is a very nice bowl of fish. Okay. So here's 1, number 2, and number 3. Do we have any takers on number 1, number 2, or number 3? Number 3, largest, is one of the largest. Doesn't have as much beni, but you can certainly see lots of sumi coming up. Has a lot of beni here. Has sumi coming up around the fish. Remember, these guys are Tosai. They're not even close to being finished. So you're not looking at the way the fish is now. You're trying to see the future of where the fish is going. There's number 1. number 2, and number 3. Any takers? Number 3 was trying to escape, but we safely got him back in. And do we have a first buyer for today? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? All right, moving forwards, let's pick some others. There's a cool Deutsch Sanke. There's a Deutsch Shiro and a, let's go for a Tancho Showa. Okay, so you can see plenty of sumi on this Deutsch Sanke here. You can see plenty of sumi black is coming up on this fish. Okay, now what's the difference between a Sanke and a Showa? Okay, a Sanke is not going to have any black or sumi on the head. It's not going to have any black below the lateral line. So the lateral line is this line that goes down horizontally across the fish, and you're not going to have much black, if any at all, below that lateral line. On a Showa, you can have black on the head, and you can have black wrapping around the belly of the fish. All right, number 1 is the Tancho, number 2 is the Shiro, number 3 is the Sanke. Do we have any takers on number 1, number 2, or number 3? They're $200 each, guys. We have free shipping when you spend $650 or more on Southwest Cargo. We can still ship now, right, Michael? Yeah, we can still ship now if you wanted to fish now. If you're living in a warmer climate, we can still ship the fish. If you wanted to take it now, we can do that. Otherwise, we will board it, free boarding until spring. Okay, number 1, number 2, or number 3. These guys are $200 each. Any takers? I know you guys wanted to see some Deutsch Showa, so I'm losing all my fish. Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Do we have any takers? And you know what, guys? It's still very, very close to closing your ponds. You're just getting over the fact that you closed your pond. So buying fish, I know, is not in everyone's minds right now, which is why we really usually don't really sell a lot of fish on the shows until, you know, December, January time frame. But, you know, we're still doing the show every Saturday, so if you are interested, we're definitely interested in showing you fish. So, yeah. Any takers on any of these 3? If not, then you know what? I'll let you guys see the bowl, and if anyone wants to see a fish, just call it out and let me know. All right, take a look at the bowl. Michael's going to pan the camera around. He's got this fancy tripod. He's moving around like he's a real cameraman. What does that do when you, that tightens it when you do that? Any takers, anyone? These are Deutsch Showa from Suzuki Koi Farm. Suzuki is no longer breeding fish. Well, I shouldn't say no, he's no longer breeding koi. He is doing Tamasaba now. Tamasaba and his retirement. Yes. Any takers on anything? If not, that's okay. We'll put these guys back. I'll pull out some really nice Aoki for you guys to see. Nobody? Okay. That's fine. All right, Michael, let's put these guys back. Guys, if you're new to the show, just know that you can watch the show, and if you see something on the show, if you're watching the show a week from now and you see a fish you want, you just have to reach out to me, 516-547-0164, and if we didn't sell that fish, then we will certainly find that fish. Just take a screenshot of it, send it to me, and say, Sean, I would like that fish, and we'll go get it for you. So we're going to put these guys back. All right, those guys are back. And I'm going to grab one more bowl of fish from a different tank. And if it's something you like, great. If not, then it is what it is. We will do more next week. There are some very, very nice fish in here. Wow. Wow, wait till you see what I'm picking here, guys. Not that one. See anything, Michael? Look at the way it's coming out, the squiggly lines. Like someone drew it out on there. All right, we definitely have some cool fish for you to see. Anybody else? A lot more karasi than I thought we had. Okay. These are from Aoki. They are quite a bit bigger than the fish you just saw. Absolutely gorgeous. So these guys are going for $400 each. If you buy 3, I'll do them for $3.50 each. What do you guys think? So check out these karasu. I mean, as black can be, and then red belly. You guys are a good size. These guys are roughly, I was about, what do you think, about almost 12 inches.
Can you repeat the size again?
These guys are, I'm going to say 11 to 12s. The shiroji on this lemon harawaki is super white. And he has this kiki. You got 3 fish here. You got a kikakiryu and more armor scaled, so almost an aragoki. It's not full-bodied aragoki scale kikakiryu with yellow eyes, which is very interesting. Can you see that on the camera? I don't know if you can see it, but he's got yellow eyes. Very interesting. We have a lemon harawaki, and we have a kikakiryu with perfect scalation down the sides. Look at that, and it has a super clean head. Those are awesome. Do you have any takers on anything? Or all 3 of them? These guys are $400 each, so what is 3 would be what? That's $10.50? So 3 of them for $10.50. Guys can pick any 3. It doesn't have to be these 3. Any takers? And guys, this is the unique stuff. This is the stuff that, when you go to Japan, you see different types of fish. Like this is the different type of fish you're going to see. The more unique stuff. And I do get it. It's not really the time. Here is a very unique tancho with the reddest beni of any fish I think we have in the entire shop. Look at how red that beni is. Let's check that out. See that? Yeah, it's super, super red. Anything that you guys want to see up close, let me know. If you guys want a 3-pack deal, let me know. We'll pick 3 fish. You pick 3 fish. Let your kids pick 3 fish. Grandma, grandpa, anyone who wants to pick a fish. How many people we have on? 27. No takers on anything. It is a little bit warm in here, yes. Why is the air on? Some Deutsch Sanke in here. I have some Beni Kikakiryu, Beni Kuman Ryu. We have a cool Mizuho Ogon.
Christine is asking, can we see the tank?
Sure. I mean, I picked out the best ones in the tank, but sure, bring the tank, bring that on over. Michael's going to bring the camera on over to the tank. Make your 3-fish deal, or pick one fish. Excuse me. You have Ginrin Goshiki in here. You have some more Kikakiryu in here, Kikikakiryu. Some Ginrin Matsu Kawabaki. Goshiki, Ginrin Goshiki, Kumen Ryu, Deutsch Sanke. There's one or two Sakura Kohaku in here. There's one over to the left right there. He's over there.
Any Ginrin Goromo?
No Ginrin Goromo in here, no.
What are the black and white ones called?
The black and white. So we have either Kikakiryu, if the black is a scale, or is the black part of a color pattern. I have one black and white, which would be, looks like a Deutsch Beko that's coming up right now, or it could be a Kumen Ryu. That's possible. I think it's a Kumen Ryu right there. Let me know if you see anything. Otherwise, we'll go back to the bowl and we'll put those guys back, and we'll. Yeah, of course, of course. I can grab. I can see 3 of them right now. If you want to put them in that net right there. One. I know I have more than one in here. Two. Thought I caught 3 of them. There he is. I just caught 3 of them, and I'll see if there are any more. Yeah, that one wasn't as nice, so I didn't grab that one. I think we got most of them. There's another one. There's a unique Ginrin Kujaku. Which is very rare. The Kujaku are already metallic, but Ginrin Kujaku are a little bit different. metallic with Ginrin scales. Okay, so we have a couple of Ginrin goshiki in here. Some very, very nice fish. I'll show you that. I'm going to show you the. We actually have 4 in here. Here are the 4, so you can take a look. I gotta be honest, that might be the first Ginrin Kujaku I've ever seen. These are all from Aoki.
What's your favorite?
I like this one, this 3-step here. I'm gonna pull out the ones I like best here. Let's see.
And then can you remember them?
Yes.
And then price on these?
These guys are 400 each. We will do the 1050 for all 3. Okay, so here's number 1, number 2, and number 3. What was that? Oh. Number 1 is this 3-step, 1, 2, 3-step here. So number 1. Here's number 2 and number 3. And this Ginrin is really spectacular. It's almost like crumpled up tinfoil. It's very, I mean, it's super Ginrin. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Do we have any takers? Number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Christine says 2 or 3.
Okay, so number 1 is out. So here's 2 or 3. Where would you go, Michael?
Maybe 2.
2 or 3?
I think 2.
2?
I think
So I'll go number 2 also. I really like the Ginrin also coming through on the benny here, which is really cool. That one right there. Would you agree?
He says agree.
Okay, it's yours. Just gonna grab a photo. All right, so guys, this is a very unique fish here. Ginrin Kujaku. Definitely a unique fish. Let's put a couple of fish on here. Let's grab a goshiki. Let's grab the Ginrin Kujaku as number 2. And who else do we want to put on here? I'll put a karasu on here. How's that? 1, 2, and 3. Got the karasu, Ginrin Kujaku, and a very, very nice goshiki here. All 3 of them for $10.50. These are from Aoki. If any takers? Good morning, guys. How are you? All right, if no one's grabbing anything, it's okay. But we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to grab some of these. Is there anything in this bowl you guys want to see? Otherwise, we're going to put them back, and we are going to call it a day for today. The reddest Benny, I think, of any fish in my entire store. I mean, it's red. He's got his war paint on over his eye. Definitely a cool fish. Okay. Who is that? Christine, did you want to try and pick two more? Remember, you do get free shipping on Southwest Cargo. Would it buy three for $10.50? The Karasu are awesome. These Kikikos are spectacular. And look at the
personal shopper to do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Set up a personal koi shopper. And we can go and do this so you're not stressed over picking something out right now. That's absolutely fine.
There's no other contract that should be in that tank, right?
No. The only other tantra goshiki I have are in the $1,000 tank. I have more of those fish over here. Gorgeous.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much are the price?
These are 400 each. We're doing three. We're actually doing a show right now, a live show.
Okay.
They're selling three for $10.50.
3 for $10.50. The black is really nice. Look at black ones.
Yeah, Karasu. Got Deutsch, so scaleless, black,
Black, no, it's
red belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a Karasu. Really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. $400 each one, right?
All right, guys, I think we're going to call the show for today. Christine, you're going to set up a personal koi shopper, and for the rest of you on the show, if you want to do a one-on-one with us, you can do a one-on-one where we show you every single fish you want to see in a bowl, one-on-one, just you and me, or you and Mike, and we can show you everything we have to offer. We can certainly make you special deals along the way. Just go to the website, go to koimarket.com, click on personal koi shopper, set up a date and a time, and we'll meet you there. And we prefer to do it on FaceTime, so hopefully you have an iPhone. We can use other things to do our video meeting, but we prefer to do it as a FaceTime on iPhone. Seems to work the best. All right, we look forward to seeing you in our next show. Have a great weekend. And guys, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, 516-547-0164. Talk